ordered the beads online and ordered the supplies I needed and just started making jewelry. I'm getting ready to have a jewelry show. But first I'll give you a little background. I'll be 81 this summer. I was born in St. Louis, Missouri, lived most of my life in Missouri, and recently moved from Overland Park, which is a suburb of Kansas City, to first Port Penasco for a year and a half, and now to Gilbert. And I got interested in jewelry making because my husband, I'm a widow. My husband's been dead for 35 years. He died of a heart attack when he was 45 years old. And I have twin children, a son and a daughter. And they went from Kansas City, they went to ASU. So when they left home, it was a big void in addition to my husband being gone. And then 3 months later, my mother died. And I found myself opening a bottle of wine every night, and I thought, I can't do this. I cannot do this. I need something to do at night. The only thing I had ever done as a hobby was I helped my neighbor one time get some jewelry ready for a show that she was doing. So I ordered the beads online and ordered the supplies I needed and just started making jewelry. Well, about 6 months later, it was the Christmas holidays, and so my neighbors and friends, who were very supportive, said, have a show. We'd like to buy some of your jewelry for our family at Christmas. So I said, okay. So I, of course, didn't sell everything that I took, and I left it in the lobby of this motel in a case they had. And these two ladies from Spain came into the hotel. Apparently they had reservations, and they said, who makes this jewelry? And the desk clerks told them my name, and they said, well, if we give you a business card, will she email me? I'd like to speak to her. My husband is a captain on Costa Cruise Lines, excuse me. And they are always looking for what they call an artist in residence, someone who has made something that they can sell. So I emailed the lady. She said, this is the contact in London. This company has 100 cruise ships that they furnish artists in residence. Or if you've been on cruises, which I'm sure you have, they sell paintings and they have contracts with different companies and so forth. So I emailed them. They required a sample of my jewelry, a full-length picture, and within a month they wrote me back and said, in October you'll get our cruise list. It turned out to be 62 pages long. Any that was blank meant they did not have an artist for that particular cruise, so I bid on 4 cruises. I said, okay, and let's go. On the cruise, the deal with the cruise line was, and I worked on all of them, is they usually gave me a suite. I could always take one additional person for free. I was free, the person was free. All sorts of perks. You got free Wi-Fi, all sorts of things. And when the ship was in port, they did not have the shops open, because there's a rule that says within 10 miles of the ports, the cruise ships can't be open for sale. So that meant I could go into every port. I was free until they sailed, and usually they didn't sail until 6 o'clock on those days. So they put me in fine jewelry, because the purpose of my particular artist in residence was to lure the people into the fine jewelry shop, because we all know that their fine jewelry shop was competing with 25 fine jewelry shops in every port. So it worked very well. When I got on board, they interviewed me, and then they flashed it on the TV that I was the artist in residence, and then I tried to make the people interested in my jewelry, and they came to find jewelry, and of course I sold and they sold. And honestly, my jewelry was well received on the cruise ships. I sold a lot of jewelry and met a lot of very nice people.
Wow.
Why don't we go out and look at some of my jewelry?
Let's go look.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anchorage back to Vancouver. I sold $14,000 worth of jewelry on that trip. Yeah, it was fun. The people liked my stuff. I got to meet and know a lot of people.
Look at
Now,
all this stuff. Wow, this is just
make-
mind-blowing, man. Look at all this.
In order not to be in competition with the cruise line,
Mm-hmm.
I make what I call, and it's called in the trade, as statement jewelry. It's all big jewelry, and it's all statement jewelry. I have lapses, I have coral, I have some turquoise, a few crystals, I have denim lapses as well as regular lapses, and I have gotten collected, I'll show you over here.
Mm-hmm.
I have collected pendants and things from all over my cruise, all over the world.
Wow.
And these I put on necklaces as I make them. And here's some amber. This is, people don't believe it, but people who know turquoise know this is turquoise. You can tell by the back as well. It's all the way through.
Wow.
And there are different colors of turquoise.
Mm-hmm.
I have a few wooden beads, not too many. This happens to be tiger eye. That's not wooden. I thought it was a wood. I need to put my glasses on probably. But I make all sorts. And the reason I have so many pieces here is because I was scheduled for an April cruise out of Barcelona, a 10-day Mediterranean cruise, and COVID hit in February, and I canceled because I am a type 2 diabetic and my immune system somewhat compromised. So I'm very, very particular about exposing myself to viruses and things. I'm partial to the craftsman from Tibet. And normally I have my little free Tibet sign up, but I haven't put it out here yet. They're such wonderful craftsmen, and this is an example. Of course, I did the beading, but this is an example of their work. They're greatly detailed and make beautiful things. And, you know, when the Chinese decided they wanted Tibet, they moved them out if they didn't give up their religion and several things. I mean, it's complicated. The Chinese did eliminate the serfdom situation in Tibet, but the people are very displaced. And that makes me sad for them because the craftsmen, they're just incredible. My husband died very suddenly and very unexpectedly when he was 45 years old. Our twins were just 15. They were sophomores in high school. It was devastating to us. But what happened after his death and after I finally adjusted is I made some differences in my life. I realized how tenuous life really is, and I decided to have fun and do some really fun things. And as I discovered jewelry making, I absolutely fell in love with it. I can spend hours and hours doing this. And here's an example of how I do it. This particular necklace is laid out, but I haven't put it together yet. Normally I have 4 or 5 of these boards going at one time, but I like to live with it a day or two and make sure I like it before I really decide. This is another Tibetan example. They're just really craftsmen. Now, all of this is sterling silver, and I haven't polished it because I've just gotten it out. But for me, jewelry making is extremely relaxing and really, really fun. This is an example of some amethysts, and I think it's particularly pretty, both necklaces. I have more amethysts. and a lot of cuff bracelets. So, but what I do is I've only been in Gilbert, Arizona for 2 years, and a little over 2 years. And I have joined the Golden Girls, and I have been so fortunate because we have a wonderful person named Janice who organized our July birthday group. And there are 10 of us, and we just hit it off, and we do a lot of things together. I'm having them over at the end of April, and they're all going to make a necklace. I'm going to teach them how to make one necklace, which leads to the idea that if anyone wants to get a group together, and I will teach a class. I'm very reasonable, and I really love it. You can bring your own drinks, whatever you want to do, and we can do it during the day or at night, whatever suits you.
What would you say to others who really, really want to get into
Well,
this?
my life-altering event was my husband's sudden death, and I hope that everyone who's watching this video will realize that you need to have fun. You need to really, really enjoy life as best you can and enjoy things you like doing. And I believe that laughter is the best medicine. So I'm going to share a little joke with you. A man said to his wife, "You know, I'm worried that with everything that's going on, we might not have enough food in the grocery stores, and we may have to go out and gather our own food." And he said, "I'm terrified. I don't even know where little Debbie lives." So I hope you found that humorous.